Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast. In this podcast, I'm going to talk about how to move fast. How to move fast. How to move fast. This is one of the biggest questions I get. All right, guys, welcome back to the 66th episode of the podcast. If you're listening to this, welcome. If you're listening to this for the first time, welcome. If you're always listening to these every single day, we're getting a lot of downloads and a lot of listens. So thank you for joining the squad. I try to answer as many questions as I can. The question and the theme that I'm going to talk about today is moving fast, and as fast as you possibly can. All right. One of the questions I get from entrepreneurs, business owners, people all the time is like, Dan, how do you move fast? How do you move fast? How do you continue to move fast every single day? And I'm gonna give you a few points and a few tricks and things that I do. But first, Jess, could you ask the team outside to be a little bit more quiet? Because I can hear them like crazy loud clear in here. I'm not sure if you can hear it. Anyway, I think we need to put some like foam things up there. So we'll just wait till they be quiet a little bit. It's bad enough having Andy in the room scaling ads, typing like crazy. Anyway, so one of the things that I do, by the way, I even ran in my head what would be the outcome if I were to say cut. So I decided to say, but first I'm going to get Jasper to ask them to be quiet. I'm always running in my head over and over the scenarios that if I take this path, it might take this long. Or if I take this path, it might take this long. And this is like a gift that I have, but also something that I've been training over and over is how to analyze a situation and how to break it down so that it can best suit my situation and how I can predict the income, the outcome of the income of the outcome of whatever I do. Okay? So if you're starting anything, if you're starting a business, if you're starting a brand, if you're starting to move out, like we talked about yesterday, the time in which you accomplish a task is very, very important. Now, if you take shortcuts, it might hinder the quality of the outcome. But if you overthink the process and try to make it perfect, it's not going to happen. Let me give you an example. We start up brands every single day. Like new brands come out of our agency like crazy. But there was a lady in our company. She's a new entrepreneur. She's starting up a brand within, or she's continuing a brand that we had already started. And she was recording a specific ad for a new product launch. Okay, and she was asking me a few questions like, how do I do this? How do I do that? She was watching some training stuff that we have, and I noticed that it just took the whole day because she's very meticulous when it comes to producing the right content so that it can be, so that it can convert. And I told her, I said, hey, listen, just take a video, just make it happen. You got to move fast. Otherwise, 1 week goes by, 2 weeks go by, and you're still not you end up not hitting the goals. Another example is we're always hiring, right? And this is how we hire. We always do promotions, and I think today we hired 30 people. I'm not sure, which is kind of crazy. Yesterday we did training in the office. We did training in the office for when people come in to our office, to this office here, which is one of our biggest offices in the Philippines. We got 2 floors here, and we did training on like when someone comes in, what do you say? How do you greet them? What do? They sit down. We offer them some beverages. We offer them some hors d'oeuvres. We offer them some snacks, anything from the cafeteria, from the restaurant, not the cafeteria. and things like that. And yeah, when we hire, the TLs will basically go like this. Hey, how's it going? We're looking for this and this and this. If you're this type and this person, this person, this person, we would love for you to come in for an interview. And we run that on ads. And it works amazing. Now, if every single task that we do wasn't broken down to making sure that it happens as quickly as possible, we wouldn't be able to move. And it gets even harder when you have a bigger and bigger team. Mark Zuckerberg says, he's always said this since day one. He said, move fast and break things. It's okay to make a mistake and learn on the way. Perfectionism will never, ever, ever get you to the destination that you want to go. Now, I'm a pretty big perfectionist when it comes to when other people are doing work. Then I get a little bit like Christian knows exactly what I'm saying. In the studio knows exactly what I'm saying, because when it comes to continuity, when it comes to the way things feel, the way things look, I'm very meticulous. If you looked at our service companies, the icons are identical. The icons are clean. It's a matte style. It's when it comes to that sort of stuff, I'm very, very, very picky. But when it comes to executing it, that needs to be fast. Right? It needs to be fast, because if it doesn't happen right away, then other people are waiting on you. All right? Or you can be waiting on yourself. And this is the mind battle that we play every single day. How do we not overthink something and just take action? How? And this is the biggest question that I always get. Because when it comes to making a decision, if you do not move fast on making the decision, it could ruin you. Water break. So, a couple things that I do day to day, day in and day out, that help me for this, that help me to move fast. And I talked about this in a few episodes before, and I'm talking about it again because it's the only way, which is acting as fast as you possibly can on the small inklings or the small thoughts that you have. All right? So if you have a thought, act on it right away. If you think, hey, I need to talk to this person, then do it right away. If you tell someone that you're going to do something, then do it right away. You have to do it right away. Right away. Like right away. Right away. And I learned this, and I try to do this all the time. If I say yes to something, I try to do it right away. Because if I don't do it right away, what's going to happen is time is ticking and ticking and ticking. Time always ticks. It will always move. Doesn't matter if you're not doing anything, okay? And I learned this, okay? I learned this from a guy when I was 16, 17 years old. In Canada. One of the most important things that I've ever learned in my whole life so far, in terms of what has helped me in business and in branding and creating and these sort of things, is that specific thing. Is if you say you're going to do something, do it right away. Don't say, yes, I will do it, and then say, can we schedule it for this? It never happens. And I fall into that so many times. I try my best. And if you're listening to this and you're watching this, and I've said that I would do something and I didn't do it, I extremely apologize, because I have a huge issue with saying yes to everything. Now, I'm trying to train myself to say no. But the things that I do say yes, act on it right away. Can you do this for me? Yes. Okay. When can you do it to me? Or when can you do it for me? Right now. I will do it right now. All right? Right now. If you don't take action right away, it won't happen. So where did I learn this? Well, I'm ever since I was a little kid, I wasn't good at many things, but I was really good at looking and analyzing and picking up things, picking up cues. So I worked for a sales company in Canada, in near where I grew up in the farm country, and it is this It's a company that creates a product that services the trucking industry. Okay, I'm not going to go into the exact same the product. The CEO of that company, who is a big Dutch guy, amazing, super tall, super tough, always was at work, extremely good leader, extremely hardworking. I admired him so much, and I still do today. I haven't seen him in a long time. I hope he's doing well. And what I was blown away by, one of the many things that I was blown away by, and by the way, every single job that I worked, I always was as close as I could be to the person who was leading the organization. When I was working as a barista, I was always asking questions and working as close as I could to the person who owned and operated the cafe, the restaurant, the cafe. When I was working as a kid for my dad in the farm, I was always working with the person who was leading the pack. I was always admiring that person. I was always asking them always questions. When I worked for my uncles in their farms and different things, I was always asking them questions and always being as close as I could to them. And I strongly suggest, if you want to lead, go and be a shadow of the leader and learn and pick up cues and always keep your mind open to what they're doing. The one thing that I learned and that sticks with me today as a memory is this guy, this old Dutch man. If you asked him to do something, or someone asked him to do something, he would, if he said yes, and he said no a lot of times, if he said yes, he would drop whatever he was doing, and he would do that right away. Right away. And I remember one time I asked him, because I was doing sales, I was doing door to door, I was selling this product to different companies. And I remember one time I asked him, I said, hey, can you please teach me how I can communicate better with my potential customer? Because I was having a hard time. And he said yes. Because obviously, if I can sell better, the company's gonna make more money. He said yes, and he dropped everything that he was doing. He was talking to his secretary, and they were doing something, and she kind of got upset at me, and she didn't really like me because I was always talking, directly to the CEO instead of to her. And he dropped everything, and he took me aside, and he gave me everything that he knew about connecting with a potential customer. And I've taken so many things from that. I'm so blessed. But one of the biggest things that he didn't even say, but I learned was, if you don't move fast, you won't get anything done. It's as simple as that. And it's not about coming into work. It's not showing up to the thing that you're doing and leaving exactly when the time is up, whenever that clock in, clock out thing is. It's being invested into the situation where you are and actually learning. Because then you don't think about the time. Like, I don't think about what time it is. I can pull up my phone and it's 9:12, and my mind is going over and over, and I've got like hundreds of messages here of people asking me questions, and most of the people that message me, by the way, people think I'm a terrible communicator because I do not message hardly any message that comes in. But the ones that I do, I give 100%. And if it's a yes, I try as best as I possibly can to get it done right away. So when you move fast, how can you move fast? If you want to move fast, take action right away, number one. Number two, don't overcomplicate things. And number three, try not to be as just perfection. There is no such thing as perfection. If you release the product when it's perfect, it's too late. That's a very, very big very, very big example that many marketers use in people and business. I'm gonna tell you one more thing, okay? The greatest example and the greatest image that I can paint for you guys right now about moving fast is, picture you are running, okay? You are running from a herd of bison, bull, okay? You're running, it's in the desert, and there's this herd of bison, these big buffalo, these big horned, mean-looking, furious, foaming at the mouth, stampede of bison. And you're there, and you're running, and you're running, and you are running. And then there's a cliff. And you're like, oh my goodness, and you see it, right? You see it coming up, but you're still running because you're looking back, and this herd is coming, and it's about to eat you, and you're about to get to the edge, and you can make two decisions. You can jump off, or you can turn and stop, and then get just destroyed by this herd. Jump off the edge. And when you are falling, build as fast as you possibly can an airplane. Build an airplane. Now, the airplane, I presume, is not going to be a 747, a very complicated plane, because all you need to do is you need to fly. So within the time that you are falling, you need to make fast decisions and make that plane, okay? It sounds ridiculous, but it's just an analogy for moving fast. Just picture yourself falling and making sure that, hey, all I need to build is an airplane. I'm gonna make it simple. I'm gonna make it do the job it needs to do. I'm not gonna make it fancy. Once I'm flying, I can make it fancy. Once you're flying, you can make it fancy. Okay? Remember that story. Remember that image. I always play that image over and over in my mind. And because I play that image over and over and over in my mind, that is why I can move fast. Picture yourself jumping off of a cliff because there's a force that is just waiting there to take you down. This is the reality. Who's out there? Who's the bison? Who are the animals? These are people that are negative. These are haters. These are people that are just looking to suck you into their negativity. These are people that are waiting for you to fall so they can trample all over you. But you got to take that leap of faith. You got to take that leap of faith. And when you take that leap of faith, think about making a plane, a simple plane that will make you fly. Don't make it too complicated, because if it's too complicated and it takes too long, you are going to crash at the bottom of the canyon. All right, guys? I hope you liked that little story. Take action on whatever you want to do. There are so many things that are coming out to get you. Oftentimes it's ourselves. Oftentimes it's our own thoughts. Most of the times it's the thoughts that we have that are pulling us back from what we know that we can actually do. Most of the times. All right? I love you guys. Thank you for listening to another podcast. I'm happy I talked about this. It's a big thing for me. This is one of the ways I move fast, one of the ways that we get a lot of things down, and how we can share our ideas and things to the world. Don't be the artist that makes a painting and puts it in their garage and lets it sit there. Share it, sell it, show it to the world. It's your passion. Whatever gift you have, share it. Share it to the world. It's your passion. Let the market decide. Build a plane. Don't make it too fancy. I'm excited to see what you're about to do. All right, guys, like always, if you found value in this, just share it with 1 or 2 people. That's all I ask. We don't run advertisement to these things. It's just my way to stamp in history the things that I'm learning, the things that I'm thinking about, and the experiences that I am having, and the people that I'm talking to. So we had a few podcasts. We talked to a few guests. If there's someone that you would like us to interview, put it down below. I always love hearing stories of people that went through a tough situation and came out on top, and what are the things that they're doing in order to break that specific barrier. Guys, if it's your birthday today, happy birthday. And when it's your birthday, send me a DM on Instagram. I'll hook you up with a free watch. Guys, thank you so much for listening. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.